Hey, Andrew Logan here. Welcome to another video. And today I want to be talking about building your social media brand. Finding that social media niche, really creating that avatar so that you can start building an attraction marketing funnel, or you can start having more cold market conversations. You can find and attract people who want to do what you do, who want to buy what you represent. And that's the greatest thing about this. In network marketing, we need to network and market. So we need to go out and create friends, or we already have friends that we come in with, our warm network, and then we go out and we build a cold market, we build a cold network, and we turn those cold networks into warm networks, okay? The great people that we meet, they become our friends. Some of the greatest friends I've met since starting this business, and that's really awesome. And then we market to them, so we need to know what to say. So I've done lots of videos on what to say, how to kind of create your story, how to craft your offer, how to introduce yourself, all those sorts of things. Today I want to talk about the networking side, the social media branding. And this is really, really, really important for a few reasons. Obviously, we want to have that great sort of funnel of people coming to us. We want to attract like-minded people, but also that means that we want to attract people more likely to buy what we have. We want to be able to, having conversations takes time, talking to people. And if you're going to do this properly and do this with authenticity and integrity, that's not just sending 500 copy and paste messages a day and just hoping some of that mud sticks, okay? What we're doing is we want to find people who really value what we have, who value what we do, and are positive people. And if we can do that through a crystal clear brand, then we won't get the negativity. We won't get the kind of, oh, it's just one of those things. Or we won't be talking to people about our energy product and then we're talking about energy with people who don't care enough to invest in their energy. Or you're trying to talk about your skincare to people who don't care enough to invest in their skin, okay? We want to just filter those out, and we do that through our social media brand. So before we go there, let's just remember the 3-step process here and the 3 C's of social media basically. Is that we want to create content, okay? So we're going to create content on our social media channels that gets engagement and comments. And then from those comments, we can have conversations, okay? And that's the process. Now, too many people are trying to have conversations with people that they haven't actually connected with. But if we create the content and we get comments, that's where the connection happens. And so we've got that connection, and then we can add them as a friend, and then we can have conversations, and if they convert, we get commissions, right? All C words, all amazing C words. So we're gonna create content that gets comments, the content gets the comments, okay? And then we can add them as a friend, and we can have a conversation that may or may not lead to a commission. Hopefully it does. This is especially important when you're going into Facebook groups. Too often people go into Facebook groups and they're just like, hey, I'm Andrew and I sell this stuff. Let me know if you want some. And then they get booted out and they're like, oh, why did I get booted out of that group? Or, hey, Andrew, this is Andrew. I used to have no energy and then I found this and now I do have energy. DM me for more information. And we wonder why we're getting kicked out. We're trying to jump straight into the conversation. And it's not gonna work. And we're gonna be so particular with Facebook groups especially. We can't just spam. That's crappy, that's terrible, okay? Crappy, another C word. Anyway, let's get to this. So if we're gonna do that, what's the content that we create? And this is where we need our niche, okay? Our brand. Because we're gonna have branded content that speaks to our niche. So how do we do that? And there's 2 things, okay? Who do you love to work with? So you're gonna ask yourself questions. Who do I love to work with? Okay. And the second question, who was I right before I started? Who was I right before I signed up? Before start. Okay. We need to ask those 2 questions because this will help you find your social media brand. So again, let's say you're in skincare and you love to work with kind of middle-aged women who are just starting to hit that point where they're starting to notice the skin changes and they're starting to want to improve things. They're starting to want to, get rid of some of the lines and stuff like that, but they don't want to go and have needles. They don't want to go and have injectables and stuff like that. I love to work with middle-aged women and I help them look younger without the use of needles. That is like a branding niche, okay? So if I love to do that, then that's my niche and I'm gonna own that. I just love to work with that kind of person and I can create content that gives value and speaks to that person. And again, if you need extra help with it, check out my video on attraction marketing. I talk about the process there as well, where we're gonna give value to this person. So we could be going into groups and doing posts on, here's like 5 foods that help your skin look beautiful, okay? Here's a simple way to look 5 years younger. Here's a simple thing I found to really help reduce the lines under here. Here's, like a drink that I found that just helps me look younger, whatever it is. I don't know much about skin, you can probably check that out. But find that person, who do you love to work with? And you can really offer value. You can create amazing content that's gonna talk to that person. And they're gonna come in and they have those conversations. They're gonna comment and you're gonna get those conversions. You're gonna convert them into friends and then you have conversations. Say, look, I love to help people look younger without needing needles or injectables. If that's something you're interested in, let me know and I can help you. Okay, again, I've done specific videos on that. But who do you love to work with? That's one question you can ask. Now, if you're not sure about that, the second question, and this is a really powerful question, who was I right before I said yes? Right before that snap point when I said, you know what, I am sick of being XYZ, okay? And I sort of had 2 snap points. Like in our business history, I had 2 snap points. So for me, I always knew that, I was carrying a couple of extra kilo, but it wasn't until we were getting married and I was trying on my suits with all the other groomsmen and the pants didn't quite fit. And that's when I was like, you know what? I am sick of carrying this extra bit and I'm sick of how I look and I don't want to stand up on our wedding day and get all these photos taken of me and all these people looking at me and me being ashamed of how I look, okay? That was me right before I started. So I could create a niche about helping someone lose weight before their wedding, shredding for the wedding, right? That was sort of this kind of initial niche that I had about ways to help someone lose weight so they look great on their wedding day. So what do? You create content about that, okay? Simple ways to exercise at home during lockdown. Simple snack swaps to save yourself 200 calories a day. Simple ways to meal prep and make it actually tasty without, like living off rabbit food and stuff like that. And then we could sit there and when you're having these conversations, you've got comments and you're converting these people into friends and then you're having these conversations and you say, look, yeah, I've got this really simple way to help you lose weight and look great for your wedding and you don't even have to give up beers or your bucks party or something like that. And we could have that conversation. The other snap point I had was when my wife, Angie, fell pregnant with our second child. And that's when we both snapped and it was really powerful because it was a double snap point where we were like, oh man, like what we're doing isn't working and we've got a child coming into this world and we cannot do this any longer. We cannot keep going down the path we were going down of just working and working and working. We need to do something different. So that's when we said, righto, we need to look at this business model. So we have this niche of like parents and families who are sitting there and really struggling and they need to bring in a secondary income source. We can speak directly to parents because the power here is in our personal story. The power here is creating an offer attached to your niche. Okay, so again, and I've done videos on both of these if you're struggling a bit. But the offer here is I can help you look 5 years younger for $5 a day. Okay, that's the offer for the skincare niche that I want to work with. For me, it was like, you know what? I know exactly how you feel. I have exact experience in standing there in the shop and the lady's like fussing over you and oh, you're the groom, we've got to make sure everything's perfect and you're looking in the mirror and you're kind of on that last belt buckle and you're like, oh man, I know exactly how you feel. And I can speak directly to their emotions because I was there. I was in that pain. I understand the struggle that they're having. So if I can understand their struggle and I can speak to them, I can speak their language, we can connect straight away. We can connect and have amazing conversations straight away. That's the key, right? So what we need to do is we need to ask ourselves these two questions, find who we really, really want to work with. Do I love to work with people who want to have 5-star travel, but without the 5-star expensive bill at the end of the day? You know what? I love to work with people like that. And I'm going to create content about how to find great holidays on the cheap, how to pack light so that you can buy more stuff, you know, how to get a family holiday for the cost of a kind of 2-person getaway. I'm going to create amazing content about that. Or I'm going to sit there and go, you know what? I know exactly what it's like to have your skin, and I had terrible skin growing up, so I know exactly what it was like to be embarrassed when your school photos came home. You know, thankfully my skin cleared up, but I remember like looking at my school photos every year and being so embarrassed as like a 13, 14-year-old and looking at that. I'm like, man, I don't want memories of that. I don't want memories of like grade 9 when my skin was terrible. I know exactly that. So, you know, if I had a product that could help that, I could talk, or if I'd used a product back then, I could talk about that process. I could talk about that struggle and talk about that emotion that goes with the problem, because that's where our customers will relate to us. And they're gonna see, man, Andrew went through that same thing with his skin. He can help me. I wanna work with him. He knows the pain, he understands me. And that's where network marketing is so powerful, because people will relate to our story. We're not just like a big billboard that say, hey, does your skin suck? Use this, okay? They're like, no, Andrew knows exactly what it's like to get your photos and be like, oh, I don't want anyone to see that. So that's what we do, and that's how we create our social media brand. So I hope that helps, guys. I hope that just helps you with understanding the process. So always remember the process up here as well. Let's create content first, let's get comments, and then we can convert that into friends where we have conversations, and then we can probably get commissions as well. Who do you love to work with? Who were you right before you said yes to your sponsor, yes to your company, yes to doing what you do now? Answer those two questions, find the one you really want to run with, and then be crystal clear on that, and you'll be able to find amazing customers who love what you do, they love you, and they want to work with you, and they want to buy your product, and then we can have an amazing business. Now, if you need help growing a great business, if you need like help with scripts or templates or anything like that, you need a step-by-step roadmap to creating financial freedom through network marketing, you can grab a copy of my book, just follow the directions below, okay, and I'll send you out a copy of that. Otherwise, I hope you got value out of this. Don't forget to click like and subscribe if you did, and we'll see you on another video. See ya.